What is going on, everybody? Sports expert here, and we do have some MLB rumors that have came out before the lockout and everything, which could be interesting after the lockout. So please stick around for this video, especially if you're a Yankees fan or a Red Sox fan or any MLB fan. We talk about all teams, but these two teams will be included mostly. But this is going to be interesting. Going to be a crazy video here. But we did have some rumors and some news leak that could happen after the lockout, and that happened before the lockout. So breaking news: Yankees and Red Sox make crazy moves before the lockout. It's definitely interesting. So if you guys do not want to miss what happened. So please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. Commenting and liking the video helps our video in the algorithm. That would mean the world to me. It just helps all of us around. So I'd appreciate that, guys. So let's get started with the video. The Boston Red Sox are acquiring outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr. once again from the Milwaukee Brewers and two prospects in the top 20 from the Brewers for outfielder Hunter Renfroe. So yeah, Hunter Renfroe is headed to the Milwaukee Brewers for Jackie Bradley Jr. and two prospects. So this is our number one our first headline here. As you know, right before the lockout, we had that breaking news. Renfroe hit 259, 31 homers, 96 RBIs with the Red Sox. The Red Sox are likely look to retain Schwarber, maybe get a Conforto now, as Hunter Renfroe is out of the picture. Jackie Bradley Jr. will likely compete with Jared Duran in the outfield, so it could be one of those two, Verdugo and one of Schwarber or Conforto, which is very likely. So the Red Sox looks like they'll spend after the lockout, and Kyle Bloom as a plan. New York Yankees news. The New York Yankees are more than likely the favorite to land Matt Olson, and the deal could get done right after the lockout due to heavy interest. Freddie Freeman is still an option, as reported yesterday, but not as likely now. Freeman may not be as likely, but Matt Olson is a guy to watch out for the Yankees. I mean, the interest is unbelievable there in the Bronx. As much as the Yankees have been inactive on the free agent and trade market, there has been tons of interest in Matt Olson. There's been talks, but Oakland was reluctant to deal until after the lockout. They wanted to see if there was a potential salary floor implemented for this season. If so, that would be interesting. Not too likely that's the case, but had to check it out, I guess, if you're Oakland. So Oakland and New York could be on the trade market, on the trade front right after the lockout's over, and Matt Olson could be a guy that's headed to the Yankees. Two prospects I could see going to the A's are Oswald Peraza and Luis Gil. Peraza was their top shortstop prospect for a while until Anthony Volpe made the jump. Then now you have Gil. He pitched very well for the Yankees, but he's been prone to the home run ball. So, and, struggles with control a bit, but he has a ton of potential. That could be an interesting trade there. They'd probably have to add a couple more guys, the Yankees, just because of the 2 years of control for Olson on an affordable contract. Right at the buzzer, we had an MLB, we had some breaking news. The Orioles signed starting pitcher Jordan Lyles right before the buzzer and seem to be adding payroll on back-end arms to trade at the deadline. So this is one of those guys. It was a 1 year, $7 million deal. Kind of pricey, but for a team that needs arms, I guess it's whatever. You kind of have to overpay for those guys if you're the Orioles. So Lyles, not the greatest pitcher, but if he has some value like Tyler Anderson did for the Pirates, maybe you can trade him for a prospect or two. Get at least something out of it. The money will be off the books right after the deadline or right after the season. Not a big deal. Orioles, I guess they're trying to be a little bit competitive with some prospects coming up, Adley Rutschman, Grayson Rodriguez, and et cetera. So this is a solid addition. I don't hate it at all. I forgot Lyles was a free agent. The New York Yankees are more than likely going to pursue a pitcher post-lockout, whether it's on the trade market or free agent market. Frankie Montas, Luis Castillo, Sean Manaea, or even Justin Verlander. Yes, you heard that right, Justin Verlander. His deal with the Houston Astros never went official. Not sure why, but there are reasons it never went official. This is breaking news, as Verlander could be offered a contract from the Yankees right after the lockout. Now that teams know that he is still unsigned, A team like the Yankees, they offered him a 1-year, $25 million deal. They could go up and offer him 2 years, $55 million if they want. Maybe he takes that with an option for the next year for like $28 million. Do the Yankees want to do that? I don't know. But it's not absolutely impossible. Verlander could shock the world. We've seen stuff like this happen in sports before. Not sure how likely it is in baseball. But if Verlander to the Yankees is not an out, is not an unknown possibility. It could happen, and it could surprise us all. But we'll see. The New York Yankees have had heavy interest in race center fielder Kevin Kiermaier, but it's uncertain they will be able to get a deal done due to the fact that the Tampa Bay Rays are a division rival. Great defender. Not a terrible hitter, but not an amazing hitter. Kiermaier, the Yankees, it's definitely possible they could get a deal done, but they'd probably have to overpay, and it's probably unlikely due to the fact that they have Aaron Hicks already making a decent amount of money there. He's not as good defensively as Kiermaier. Kiermaier is making a solid amount of money, but, at the same time, I don't think the Rays would want to trade him to the Yankees, and the Yankees, it's just unlikely a deal would get done there. It would likely be the Phillies or Astros, something like that. Our last headline is Carlos Correa and Chris Bryant are both fine with signing post-lockout, and big market teams, including the Yankees and Dodgers, are too. Not likely he signs with any of those two teams, but obviously they're fine with signing their guys post-lockout. You could argue these three teams are more likely. Smaller market teams such as the Padres, Phillies, and Rockies. So the Padres, they've shown interest. Phillies have shown interest. And the Rockies, surprisingly, have shown interest. All three teams may have to overpay, but at the same time would be great fits for Chris Bryant if they want to compete, let him compete. So, yeah, that would be an interesting addition. And Correa, too. So, I appreciate everyone being here. Sports Expert here. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Helps our video in the algorithm. Comment what you think. I'm out, guys. Sports Expert here. Crazy news. Peace.